Today's episode is entitled WWE Groundbreaking Announcement because for at least the first hour of the show, Angry Mark will be breaking news that he broke last night on Way Too Real, and he'll be breaking it once again with more information tonight on Under the Mat Radio, because we'll be talking about the big announcement he's going to be breaking, and we will be taking for the first hour only 10 callers that will call in and ask. Please ask legitimate questions. If it's dumb questions, I will quickly delete you and quickly hang up on you with no problem.
Do we have Razor for phone? Do we have the host of Way Too Real yet who's joined us since we were on his podcast last night? Has he chimed into
we'll bring in Razor as well. We got Razor. Razor, you live?
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hey, Razor.
Hey, what's going on, Razor? Hey, everybody, this is Razor Cabron, host of Way Too Real, one of the other great podcasts out there. We was all on Razor's show last night. It was a fusion, if you will, Under the Mat Radio, joining forces with Way Too Real last night. Now Way Too Real is going to be joining forces with us. Like I said, fans, please call in 347-677-1862 to call in. Also, if you want to tweet us on Twitter @tax_UTMR, or you can tweet NSC Gameboy on Twitter
NSC Gameboy spelled correctly, man.
Please do. Fans, for time's sake, we'll get to the whole staff, Twitter, and everything else. We'll talk about that later. And, of course, don't forget, email us at underthematradio@gmail.com. Follow our YouTube page, Instagram page, and Facebook page with the same name as of the show. Without any further ado, Angry Mark, go ahead, brother.
Well, what am I doing, man? What am I doing? I mean, I already talked about all this last night. You know, if you guys want to feel free and sum up what I did last night, I mean, Jesus Christ, I do fucking drink. I mean, it's Tuesday. I'm already halfway through the fucking week. A little lit tonight.
Tuesday is not really halfway through the week, but it's all good. It's all fine. Angry Mark, I'm going to let NSC Gameboy, I'm going to let you go ahead and start it off, since this is our show now, to break some of the news. And then I'll let Razor go ahead and chime in after you, Gameboy.
Okay, well, last night on Way Too Real Radio, the podcast with Razor Cabon, we had Angry Mark, Tech, and myself, and the rest of Under the Mat Radio. Angry Mark dropped one of the biggest bombshells that we've heard since, I think, the inception of WWE acquiring WCW. And that was pretty much, and brace yourself for this, because I'm still in disbelief. I know I've been getting your calls and texts and everything all day. WWE may be getting sold. Vince McMahon may be selling WWE. And with the way that Angry Mark described it, with everything the way it is looking, I'm pretty sure by this fall, the WWE is going to make an announcement, and, well, the rest is going to be history. Folks, this is groundbreaking. This is one of those times where you're only going to hear it once in a lifetime. And to know that Vince McMahon and the McMahon family may actually not own WWE anymore is mind-boggling. Last night we took I guess our opinions. We came to some discussions. But today we're going to take in callers. I know a lot of y'all have a lot of questions, inquiries, like Tech said, to reiterate. You know, we're not going to take no silliness, no shenanigans, only serious callers. And also, this Thursday on Wrestling Black and White, also this at 11, I know they're going to talk about it a little bit more. I'm flabbergasted, you know. Everyone has been asking me, they've been hitting me up, and they've been just questioning me. And myself, the only thing I can say is just I'm still in awe. So once again, it's been said that Vince McMahon is in talks of selling the WWE. Angry Mark, is there anything that I may be leaving out? Is there anything that I might not be misinforming anybody? Am I saying it correctly? Please make sure, stop me if I'm saying anything wrong.
No. So far, you're right on target. I mean, this sale is going to take place either with Shane heading up an outside investment group, or it's going to be a couple different multimedia moguls that are going to come in and buy Vince out. So, yeah, you're on target.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I'm going to, while we wait for callers to call in, because I know Blog Talk has been acting a little crazy. We got Razor on the line. We got Tech, myself, Angry Mark, and the rest of the crew. I'm just going to start it off and just say, wow. Can you really imagine a world where the WWE is not being run by Vincent Kennedy McMahon? Or if not even that, just a McMahon period. He took it over from his father in the early 80s, but just no McMahon running WWE? Is that really feasible in people's minds?
Yeah, something to really think about. Definitely is. Razor, brother, go ahead, chime in, give your thoughts and your take. I know it's been a very busy day for all of us. I know all of our Twitters has been blowing up nonstop since last night. We all been getting texts, phone calls, emails, all of that. I know I have. I know Gameboy. I know Angry Mark has, and you, Razor. Razor, go ahead since you are the guest. Go ahead and give your thoughts. Since we broke the news last night of Vince McMahon selling his stock.
Well, avoiding all shenanigans, because I don't want to make Gameboy mad, but, I mean, none of us have lived in a world, a WWE universe, if you will, that hasn't been owned by the McMahons. It's been the McMahons for pretty much every current universe member's lives. So the fact that he's not just maybe in talks, like Angry Mark last night said, a transitional team is being put in place, a team that's to put together what you're going to do to complete the sale, what you're going to do logistically within the company as the sale transpires. That's just madness to me. I mean, it's been 24 hours since he said this, and I still haven't wrapped my head around all the possibilities, better or worse, any of it. And the fact Shane is trying to get financing to be part of this deal, it's as if there's not enough heat between him and Triple H and Steph, as Angry Mark has reported, months ago. This can't help but, make Thanksgiving an unhappy time in the McMahon household.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It's true. We none of us, even Angry Mark, who's one of the elders of the staff, has lived in a McMahon-less WWE era. And sometimes change is good, sometimes change is bad. Change is inevitable. We all hear all the sayings about change. One thing for sure, change is going to happen. Could be for the good, could be for the worse, could be both. Like I've always said, people watch out for you, what you ask for. We had people on the show, we said that Vince needs to go away. He don't know what he's doing. He's messing up pro wrestling, sports entertainment. Well, you're pretty much going to get your wish by the end of the fall or next year whenever Vince does sell his stock. So it's this big news. It's been crazy, us all trying to digest it. But he said Vince is 40. I'm sorry, not 40, but Vince is 70 years old. He's older. All he has done is lived, ate, breathed, sweat, pissed, crapped at WWE. Maybe it's time for him to go on, with his life and enjoy his life, enjoy the fruits of his hard work. Spend some time with Linda and the kids and the grandkids and all of them. But it definitely will be something definitely to look forward to. Angry Mark.
Oh, sorry about that. Don't ask. What's up?
Don't worry, we won't. Anything else you want to add to Vince possibly selling his stock? Well, he will be selling his stock.
Here's what I can tell you. That today was a very interesting day for me. I'm debating whether or not to post the email publicly that I received. Here's what I can tell you. I received an email to my personal, my non-gimmick name.
Non-gimmick.
Okay? For people who don't understand that, what that means is my name's not actually Angry Mark. You know, for all the retards out there who think it is.
Wait, what?
Oh, sorry, Razor. Sorry, it's really not Angry Mark. But I did receive an email asking what my source was, and I can tell you that in the web address were 3 letters. WWE.
Wow.
Ooh, somebody's mad.
Yeah,
I guess they're
somebody
listening.
salty. So learn. And if you want to call in, whoever you are, the unsung emailer, 347-677-1862. As you always know, here on Under the Mat Radio, and I want to take this time as a, can't say cheap plug because we're plugging ourselves. Speaking of breaking news and us making history, today not only is a groundbreaking announcement Angry Mark has made, but also marks the anniversary, if you will, 3-year birthday of Under the Mat Radio, of Under the Mat Communications LLC. And of course, one of the things me and Gameboy always said back 3 years ago this date when we started was about us making history, us being groundbreaking, us, of course, shaking things up again.
The black guys did it. We didn't die. We didn't die in a horror movie. We made it to the end.
No, we didn't.
How about that one? Yeah.
Yes, we made
You didn't
it.
get killed.
And of course, with the great staff that we have, you know, including Angry Mark and Razor, is just what we always been doing, making people mad, breaking news, doing things that nobody else has done, and if they try to do it before us, we've done it better. And I already knew he was going to be I already knew one of us, definitely Angry Mark, who, by the way, isn't his real name, will be contacted by the 3 letters, by the E. But
They gonna really
it's
tell
true,
us
it's legit. And like a streak in baseball, Angry Mark, I know me and you are the 2 big baseball enthusiasts. It's like any streak. I believe we're undefeated every time we've broken news here at Under the Mat Radio, here on Wrestling Black and White, on Twitter or emails. Whenever you broke news, Angry Mark, or I broke news or gave inside information, we've always been right. It never fails. Angry Mark broke news about the brand split. You know, I broke news before. We've always been right. It never fails. So Angry Mark are the people, are the 3 letters, we're going to call them the 3 letters. The 3 letters, are they mad? Are they upset? Are they happy? Are they shocked? Can you give us a little tiny bit more insight on the 3 letters feeling?
All right. I guess a little bit. It's one of those things where, you know, I'm still in contact, you know, as people know, with performers, okay, without putting out names, you know, because I did, you know, long before I was married, long before the Angry Wife, long before the Angry Adolescent, there was an Angry Mark in wrestling school. That's what people need to realize. Angry Mark was you know, back then, you know, there was very few WWE schools to go to. Wild Samoans was like the cream of the crop to go to. Okay? Mm-hmm. If you wanted to make it in the business, you had to go there. There was no WCW power plant yet. You know, the OVW really didn't have, like, the training set up yet in the early 90s. So, you know, people do know my voice. A lot of people do know that I do a couple different shows. So, I mean, I even tried doing a Spanish podcast like Dean Ambrose, but that didn't go over too well. The only thing they understood, you know, or at least I could really say was like Corona, you know? So, you know, it just didn't work out.
Can't say Salinas?
You know, no. Don't even get me started on that movie, Selena. I was so fucking confused by it. I mean, it was like fucking trivial to the Angry One. The Angry Wife had to kind of break it down like a toddler for me. I felt so stupid. You know.
Shout out to Jennifer Lopez. It was probably the best she's looked in a while.
But, I mean, I got the information. I started getting tidbits about this a couple months ago. Okay? I told you and I told Razor that I was working on a big story. Okay? Well, I mean, it took 2 months between, you know, texting, the occasional email, the Twitter direct message, you know. And here's the thing. What a lot of people don't realize is, you know, like, every WWE performer has, like, a separate Twitter account, like, you know, set up like, with some of the stupidest fucking usernames you could think of, which I'm not going to put their shit out there. You know, they might have, like, 19 followers on their Twitter, but that's how they want it. But yeah, so it's really funny. I noticed Razor today on the old Twitter was putting out there, you know, hey, listen to the archive footage of his show, of our show. You know, people can doubt all they want, but go back and listen to the archives. Okay, go back and listen to everything I was saying, everything from Sheamus winning the world title to different people coming back to the company. Different things about Sheamus. The TNA thing with Billy Corgan. I even mentioned him by name. Okay? So, at the end of the day, you know, people can doubt me all they want, but go back. The archives don't lie, people. You know, you can sit there and talk smack, oh no, this ain't happening, but fuckers, I have a better streak than Joe DiMaggio. I've hit more home runs than fucking Babe Ruth, and at the end of the fucking day, I'm going to fucking bring home the world championship, so y'all go fuck yourselves.
Question is, have you hit more home runs than Barry Bonds?
Man, I ain't on the juice. I do it all al natural Budweiser.
Well, Hank Aaron. How you going to mention Babe Ruth and not mention Hank Aaron? And you claim,
oh, sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that alone. Fantasy Gameboy, you better at me in this topic. Go get on your mouth and not mention Babe Ruth and not Hank Aaron.
You know, I can't stand baseball. I fucking hate baseball. The only reason why I even talk about baseball is because you like baseball and Angry Mark like baseball. You know damn well I don't like baseball. The Orioles is actually doing well this year, like they do almost like every year, and I still don't like the goddamn sport. Like, you know, I'm just waiting for August to come around so I can watch football. Like, you know damn well I don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard for me to attack that. Sorry, you know how I am about that. Keeping it real.
The fact is, Angry Mark mentioned Babe Ruth home runs when Hank Aaron broke his record. Hank Aaron's a black man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't say Brady Anderson.
Oh, yeah. Brady Anderson.
Who the hell was that?
Oh, gosh. NXT Game
I don't want to hear. Hey, I'm putting this out there. I do not want to hear any ill shit about Brady Anderson. That is my late mother's favorite baseball player, so I'm designating Brady Anderson off limits. And that's total shoot.
Hey, Brady Anderson is one of my favorite Orioles, of course. Back in the day,
I didn't know he was an Oriole. So I'm like, I don't know who Brady Anderson is. I'm like, who is he?
And the only reason why Game Boy gets away with not knowing that is because he really is not a baseball fan at all. So that's all cool.
Yeah, I didn't know.
But you know,
the only person I know is Cal Ripken. I know Cal Ripken, and he had a brother. I don't know his brother's name, but I know he had a brother.
Billy Ripken?
That played on it. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Billy Ripken and Cal Ripken. That's the only two things I know. And the Iron Man thing, because they did that shit for like over and over again. That's it. That's the only thing I know about the Orioles. And the 83 World Series.
And that father, Cal Ripken Sr.
Oh, yeah, Billy's famous because he had that fuck written on his bat on his baseball card.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, I was just going to say that. Shout out to anybody. Raise it if you can tweet that. Put it on Twitter or told one of our correspondents, Trivia and NXT Gameboy about this. Look up the Billy Ripken botch on a baseball card. It is hilarious.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It says fuckface. All right, everybody in Twitter. It's 1990 Fleer baseball, and it says fuckface. Then they did another version of it with it scratched out, and then they did another version of the card with it whited out. So there you go. There's your trivia. Angry Mark, just, he's a book of fucking useless knowledge.
Okay, first of all, Angry Mark, this isn't Wrestling Black and White. We like to leave all fans in suspense so they can use Google. You don't have to break that news. But because Billy Ray can kind of suck, it's all good. It doesn't matter. So, yeah.
Speaking of sucking, did y'all happen to catch Raw last Monday?
Well,
I watched the DVR of that earlier today, and wow, that was really hard to get through from beginning to end. It was just long.
Yeah, I will mention we have a long slew of callers. So before we even get to Raw, before we even try to attempt to get through Raw, we have a long slew of callers.
I guess they want to ask questions and stuff. Yeah, I guess if I was them, I probably want to ask questions too. The end of the world.
We'll bring in a couple. Area code 347. Welcome to Under the Mat Radio.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hello, how are you doing?
Good. I just had a quick question. I've been listening, obviously, up until now. Just, what do you think is prompting Vince to say? I think it's a health thing, because he's always said that he wouldn't quit WWE until he was dead. So what do you think brought the change on? Best guess.
Well, here's what I can tell you. Some of this has to do with Vince's age, the lack of time that he's spent with, family over the years. People will be like, oh, we got to spend time with Shane and Stephanie on the... No, that's not spending time with your family. Not only that, but Vince lost half of his net worth with the launch of the network, okay? For him to make that $500 million back, it's not going to happen. It's already gone, okay? The stock isn't doing what it should. The stock is at usually between $17, $18. The stock opened up at, Jesus, what was the opening on that? Somebody look it up. I know it was like $24 or something. It was expensive when it first came out. And literally, first week, the stock took a major fucking hit. So, I mean, it's just been a matter of time. I think, the writing's been on the wall now for literally what I heard is over the last 2 years. And it took Shane coming back. He wasn't coming back just to do some one-off shit. He was coming back to look to take over the company. Period. Shane is a very experienced CEO now. He built his own, 8-figure net worth on his own, and without Daddy's help. So, and when it comes to the health of people, I didn't want to comment on that too much from what I did hear. But, when it comes to overall health, there's a couple things that lack with people when they get older, and part of it's memory. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, thanks for the answer.
Can we get your name?
Oh, it's Mark Cologne. I was messing with Razor earlier on Twitter about this final deletion shit that we just watched.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Yeah. Thank you, Mark Cologne. Right. Keep on listening, okay?
All right. Take it easy.
Shout out to Mark Cologne. Got a couple more callers. It definitely is blowing up. Going to bring in our area code 443 and number 819. Welcome to Under the Mat Radio.
Hey, how's everybody doing, man?
Hey, what's going on? KM, what's happening?
Everything's good, man. Just still sitting on the floor, man, for that big announcement. Been a wrestling fan since the 90s. With this direction, once it does happen, where do you think wrestling is going to go?
I think it's going to go global. I think it's finally going to get what Vince could never do. I think it's going to be globalization of the brand the right way. I think WWE is going to greatly expand their roster even more. And I can, what I can tell you is I wrote this a while back. NXT was looking to have a separate touring company in Europe. I can see the WWE having WWE basically America and then a WWE Europe, kind of like what the NFL did. Because Europe and Asia is a huge market that's not being tapped into. There's hundreds of millions of dollars to be made there. So I think it's definitely going to help the overall reach of the company because you got to remember, Vince isn't a media mogul, okay? Vince is a brand marketer expert, okay? He built a brand, but when it comes to expansion, that's not him. He can write checks, but he's not good at anything else.
That is very, very true, man. Hopefully it gets more back popular like it was back in the day, and you can bring back some of them luchadors because that's when it was exciting for me.
Let me ask you.
I appreciate y'all.
So you've been a fan since the 90s. If you don't mind, how old are you?
34.
Okay. What's your earliest memory of WWE?
Everybody was big. Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior.
Okay. So from where you started watching to where the product is now, how do you feel about it right now?
It's watered down. It's for the kids. For me, it's too watered down. It's PG.
Okay. All right. Cool. That's all I wanted to know. And what's your favorite beer?
Not Your Father's root beer.
Root beer. All right. All right.
Not Your Father's root beer, though.
Yeah,
right,
not
cool
Your Father's root beer.
Not Your Father's root beer. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
All
we
right.
heard someone talk about that today.
We're not talking
Yeah, they have
about
to drink. With, you know what, KM? I think one day, KM, you can meet up with the Angry Mark, and give him a little taste of the Not Your Father's root beer. Save his liver for a little bit.
Yeah.
We're going to get a GoFundMe page for Angry Mark's liver and kidneys.
Angry Mark, I got a case for you, man. If you don't drink the whole case, I'll drink the other 5 for you.
All right, well, get that shit to Tex Crib.
That'll work.
All right, KM, thanks, man.
All right.
Yeah, that was KM calling. We got a whole bunch of other callers. Area code 781. Welcome to Under the Mats Radio.
Hey, guys, I just wanted to say, Angry Mark, thanks for doing what you're doing. We all appreciate it. So I just have 2 quick questions. The first one is WWE going to allow Kurt Angle to fulfill his indie obligations? And secondly, the email that was sent to you by WWE, what was the tone of the letter, the content matter, as much as you can reveal? Were they mad that you have this information, or are they just curious that you have it and they would like to know where it came from? Thanks, guys.
It was more on where the information came from. It was more on where the information came from. And Kurt Angle will be able to fill indie dates, so that is not an issue whatsoever. That's something that they've negotiated with everybody who's came into the company, from Samoa Joe to, AJ Styles, fulfilling indie obligations a couple months in advance. So, yeah, Kurt's still going to be able to handle everything that he's doing, and his date might actually be moved up by a week. So, and that's what I heard today. So, everything that they're talking about on, the great dirt sheets of America, where they try and report, Kurt Angle and then the thing with Moose. Like, if you listened to the show a couple weeks ago, I even reported what month when Moose was going to report. And I loved it when the dirt sheets reported the exact arrival date, but now they might not do it. That's one thing you'll get with, I get a lot with the dirt sheets, is I'll break the news literally 2 weeks or 2 months ahead of time. And then if you go back to our archives and listen, you'll be like, holy shit, Angry Mark broke that a couple months ago. So if you hear it here, it's going to eventually hit the dirt sheets. It just takes them longer because they actually don't have sources. All they do is they hit the follow button on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and they wait for them to post the shit. And then they report it within 3 minutes. It's called copy and paste and troll.
Yep.
Sad. So sad.
Well,
thank you, caller.
for calling in. What was your name?
Mike, and I just want to say, Angry Mark, I'm trying to get you out there. I mentioned to Jim Ross last night the story, and he said where's the report? I sent him your link. I don't know if he listened to it, but I'm trying to put this out there as much as possible because you guys need to have as many people listen as possible. You guys do a great job. Thanks for having me.
So who was
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Yep.
So who was that?
Mike
name
from
is Mike.
71.
Huh?
Yeah, we know a lot of Mikes.
Yeah.
No, but who was that?
I don't know. He's from Boston.
Caller named Mike.
Boston phone number. Boston Mike.
Oh. Oh, well, thank you.
You know,
Thank you
I
for
think that was Mod Third on Twitter.
Huh?
The guy's Twitter handle, I'm pretty sure, is Mod Third, MOD3RD on Twitter. Mike. It might be Mike Angel. Yeah, it might be Mike Angel because he tweeted me too about the show tonight. So both those guys.
Yeah, our tweets are reaching the all-time high with the addition of Razor just tweeted on the Under the Mat Radio Twitter page the fuckface Billy Griffin Facebook card. So go check it out. I actually had no idea about it. As much as I love baseball, I had no idea about that until I heard it last year on Sports Talk Radio. They was talking about it. Cal Ripken alluded to it. Of course, he can't say the name. He just basically politically said the mistake on his brother's card. And then Billy Ripken joked about it as well. But thank you, Boston Mike, KM. I'm sorry I don't remember the other fan's name. I believe we have...
What caller is this? Is this number 4? 4 or 5?
Yeah, that's 4 or 5. Area code 443, and this time with T44. Welcome to Under the Mat Radio.
Hi, this is Jack Hash.
Hey. Thank you.
So, Angry Mark, I've got to wonder, how can you actually substantiate that Vincent Kennedy McMahon is selling WWE? Because you've really done, you've been on air for almost 40 minutes, and you've done nothing to substantiate it.
Well, here's the thing. I appreciate where you're coming from. What I can tell you is that we put out there that, I have 3 different sources, okay? And if you go back and check out our archive footage, okay, from shows in the past, okay, with other news, I've broken a lot of the news weeks and months ahead of all these dirt sheets. Your Wrestle Inc., your Wrestle Zones, your Dave Meltzers of the world, okay? Tweet like Meltzer. So, I mean, I understand, I don't care if I get any heat on this because it's going to come out and it's going to be reported. So to me, at the end of the day, I'm just relaying what I heard from people that get a paycheck from World Wrestling Entertainment. And I mean, it's plain and simple. I mean, and here's the thing. Part of it is public knowledge, okay? There was a big stock purchase by
it's like 6 or 8 week old news. Yeah, you know about that. So, I mean, but the writing is on the wall. There are multiple other offers on the table. But you haven't substantiated this. You're making big news, telling people Vince McMahon is selling WWE. They tune in to Under the Mat just to hear you dance around the idea that perhaps in some grand fantasy that Vincent Kennedy McMahon is going to sell World Wrestling Entertainment, and you've done nothing to substantiate that.
Either this fan is a Meltzer fan, or the fact that I'm going to tell you this, Colin. I'm not sure we got your name, but just like Angry Marks broke news before, just like I've broke news before on the show, and we've been in existence for over 3 years now, and we've actually done shows with other people. When the fall comes, and you, my friend, see that it's made public that Vince McMahon is selling his stock, then you could call back to the show, and you will have to eat crow. Because granted, no, Angry Mark already said he's not going to time to go public. We don't go public with our sources or our friends in the business. I have friends in the business, too, that work for all of the companies. So does Angry Mark, and it's Gameboy as well. We don't mention those people over air. We don't mention them. This is if you're a fan of the NFL, what's the one thing that you hear them say? Per source. They never give out the actual name. 9 times out of 10, when they break news and say a source has told them, 5 times out of 10, it comes up being true within the next couple of days, couple of weeks, couple of months. So, I know it's a lot for you to swallow, Fame, but it's true. It's going to happen. Like we broke the news that Sheamus was going to win the title, he won it. When we broke the news about Shane coming back months before anyone else did, Shane did. He come back, he did. We broke the news early this year about the brand split. What happened to brand split?
It's not news unless you can. Angry Mark hasn't even he has to.
Say that again, man. You're breaking up.
Yeah, you're breaking up, guy.
Sorry, guys.
Hello?
Shane, you still there?
Honestly, he's breaking in and out. I think either he's driving or maybe it's a storm or something.
He's so passionate. I think, his phone's not able to handle it. Fank, you still here?
But yeah,
okay.
So,
you want to call back,
saying,
you can.
With what he's saying, hey, I understand where he's coming from. Here's the deal at the end of the day. I'm relaying what is going to happen. Check our archive footage of previous stuff months in advance, and then call in. If you want to call this news, you can call it news. I just call it updates. These are updates in the event, in the wrestling world. So at the end of the day, do I even care about the impending sale? No, I don't fucking give a shit. Okay?
Well,
I haven't.
Can I add to this as a third party?
No,
anybody that reports anything that says sources, you either have faith in them, you trust that they do indeed have these sources, or you don't. Part of the way that you decide whether you trust them is looking at their track record of the past. For over a year, your track record has been spotless. You've said stuff, you've broke news just like this, and it's come to pass. You've broken it before other sites have, and it's happened. Now, if you want to take that as a statement of faith that you believe the next thing you say is going to be true, fine. If you don't. But, that's how trust works. You earn trust. And for over a year, 3 years you guys have been on this show. Angry Mark's been on a ton of shows, and he's earned trust. Buy it or don't buy it.
Okay, I'm confused. I don't get his point. Because in one thing he's saying he don't trust it the way it's all, then he's saying he do trust it because it's spotless. Like, I'm confused. Like,
okay.
Do you not trust? Like, I don't get that.
I actually know now who
I'm saying it's their call if they want to trust it or not. But
oh, okay. Because
I know who.
He's earned my trust by being right for the last year. If people don't want to take that,
I know he's right. I've worked with Angry Mark, and I've seen what he can do. Yes, and so has Tech. And like you said, it's spotless. Why would he take a risk and a chance of saying that, and is a chance of not being true? I mean, this is like the holy grail of news right now to fans, and I would think not just his reputation, but our reputation is on the line also. So I stand 100% behind Angry Mark and his information and whatever his sources are, because I don't know his sources, and I don't ask his sources. But I ask you as a fan, as a listener, and as a dedicated, passionate, I guess, journalist or just a guy who's collecting information, to trust that men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. And if it's spotless, then you already know what's going to happen. And, I mean, that's probably the best way I can describe it to you. And to anybody else who's listening who's getting ready to call in with the same question about, his sources or whatever, that's the best way we can describe it. He's just providing you the information. That's all. But we thank you, though. We definitely do. This is a real wrestling show. That's what we stand for. And we will continue to stand for that.
Thank you, Saltine and other correspondents. I know exactly who that caller was that called in.
Really?
I actually met the guy a few times. He's actually a radio personality. He works for a pretty well-known radio station here in the area. So
cool.
He's also a big wrestling fan. So I know who he is. Very opinionated, which is good. We all need that in the business. But thank you, Jack, for calling in. And like you, Jack, or anyone else that doesn't believe what Angry Mark has broke or anything that we break, just wait and see. So still burns.
Don't it always?
Like people got mad at us when we talked about the brand split and Shane McMahon was coming back, and when I broke the news about TNA last year, when I was talking to one of my sources, and people got mad. It wasn't about the TV. It was something about the TV channel. Something I broke the news. People got upset. I don't care. It came true. Now shut your mouth and suck it up. You were right. You were wrong. And I'm sure Meltzer's going to break this news about five months later and say, "Oh, breaking news." You know you're doing something right when people get upset and don't want to believe you. So with Vince possibly, with Vince, of course, looking who to sell his stock to, how often then will we see Triple H on camera, Shane McMahon on camera, Stephanie on camera? How often will we see them? Will they remain backstage, or will we still see them as on-screen characters?
Triple H, here's what I can tell you about that. Triple H has to come back out in front of the camera. Okay, right now with everything that's been going on, okay, because he is a high-ranking executive there, so he has been very busy with this. And here's another thing, people. What you don't realize is NXT Brooklyn for SummerSlam was supposed to be canceled. Okay, the whole thing with Ticketmaster, the whole 9 yards, that was WWE, people. Okay, they were going to cancel that show and reschedule it just so NXT didn't look as good. You know what I mean? Because that's Hunter's baby. Hunter wants to take that baby. He wants to nurture it. He wants to grow it after WWE has been acquired. But you can't do that. They couldn't do that. So within 48 hours, it was all back up on Barclays Center, everything else for tickets for that event. So, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to really look at this shit. It just takes a little bit of common sense, a couple friends in the business who are willing to talk to you and tell you shit. But, at the end of the day, just pay the fuck attention, I mean, it's kind of like, if you go into school, okay, and you listen to what's being taught, you're going to graduate. If you sit there, twiddle your fucking thumbs, okay, listen to your fucking headphones, and you're too busy on your Facebook, your Twitter, and your Instagram, well, then you're going to be a fucking loser. You're going to work at McDonald's, or you're going to just end up on a fucking, radio show that doesn't fucking matter because you couldn't make it in a big market. So, I mean, I mean, Jesus Christ, I mean, don't fucking call in here doubting me until you listen to the fucking archives. Okay, so get your shit together. Listen to the archive footage of all the shit that I've already broke over the past year. If that's not credibility enough for you, then honestly, you shouldn't be in fucking journalism. You shouldn't be fucking reporting anything. All you should be talking about is, shit that you watch on TV and give an opinion piece, or as they call it, an op-ed, So, unless you do your due diligence, on our show, on Way Too Real show, don't come in here and ask me about my shit. My shit's in order. All right, get your, line up. Don't throw stones at a glass house. Okay? So, I mean, I understand you're passionate and everything else, but, listen to the archives. Don't just call in because of this story. I want you to call in. I want you to listen every week to Tech and Gameboy. I want you to call in and listen to Razor Cabrone doing the best lucha post show going on today. Because these are the people, that are doing this every week. I'm just buddies with these people. All right? I'm buddies with them all. Just so happens I have a little bit more inside information than a lot of people. So, I mean, like Tech, I've told him some of my sources before, just out of respect because of being on the show. Same with Razor. But they aren't going to repeat it. They did their due diligence. Yeah, that annoys the shit out of me. Listen to the show. Respect what the show has done. Don't call in just because of, this topic. I want you to call in because of all the other topics that have been brought up before. Like when I reported the fucking brand split in April. When I reported Sasha Banks for SummerSlam in April. When I reported Sheamus becoming world champ back in October. Okay? When I reported Triple H becoming world heavyweight champion at the Rumble in December. Go listen to all that in the archives, and then if you think I was inaccurate, call in, bitch me out, I'll buy you a beer. Until then, shut your fucking mouth.
Amen. Yeah. Now, that's something I can get behind right there. We don't got time to drag people. We don't got time to keep people in suspense. We don't got time to be holding hands and doing kumbayas and shit. Like he said, me and Tech 100% stand behind Angry Mark and his sources. The writing's on the wall. The evidence is there. Feel free to go and check it out. Then come on back. We'd love to hear from you. Until then, shut the fuck up and keep it moving. The big boys are playing. We have no time for you. Go away. We're busy. So, with that being said, is there any more callers who have questions? I think that was like the 6th caller. I think we only got like 4 more.
Yeah, we got good tweets. We got at the _. I'm just gonna say styling profiling. I'm not gonna say all that underscore stuff. You know who you are.
Okay.
Tweeted the in Angry Mark we trust. Shout out to at Mod Third, Mike O'Donnell, who just called in, tweeting of course. Hashtag Angry Mark, hashtag Under the Mat Radio. And Angry Mark, I've been with him off the air a good number of times. So isn't this a Gameboy? I've seen his sources, and he definitely knows a lot more than most people. Angry Mark and MC Gameboy knows some of my sources. And, of course, me and Angry Mark, of course, go back and forth with stories. So he'll break something and know it. He'll tell me, I'll tell him. Sometimes we won't say anything. We'll break it right off the bat. But it's true. We say it. We break the news. It happens. Shut your mouth. And pretty, what was it Ric Flair said in The Horseman? If you don't like it, learn to love it, because it's the best thing going today. For any young fans that don't understand that, just Google it. Four Horsemen quote from the 80s. Speaking of the 1980s, Angry Mark, I know you was alive and well then, 40 years old and whatnot around that time. Toph, we have live. Toph, what's your thoughts on this breaking news?
Yeah, man, the real breaking news, man, was that final deletion. Woo! Oh, man, I had so much fun. I'm so lit, guys.
I'm a little behind on the final deletion. It
was great, man. It was great. It's trending on Twitter, dude. I can't wait. I don't even pay attention to ratings. I can't wait to see what the ratings are. I hope they pull at least 400 or 500K. That show was great. We'll talk about it on another time. But, man, anybody listening, check out that show. Check it out. Anyway, on a more serious note, to the previous caller that called in, I get where you're coming from, dude. I've told this story before to Tech privately, now on air and stuff like that. My introduction to the whole wrestling thing, the wrestling podcast, wrestling radio, whatever you want to call it, my introduction to this thing was around 2007 after the Benoit tragedy. And there's a radio program in Canada called The Law, Live Audio Wrestling. And it's a Canadian-based thing. They have their show every Sunday, I believe. Let me try to remember their names. Dan the Mouth Lebrowski, John Pollock. There's a few others. It's been a while since I've listened to them. They were the first wrestling radio show that I listened to. And every Sunday, Dave Meltzer would call in. They would have like a 15 to 20-minute segment on their show, depending on whether or not, the events of wrestling was busy or not so much busy. But when the Benoit tragedy happened, because The Law was a Canadian-based show, a lot of the callers that called in were actual people that knew Benoit, like, Ted DiBiase called in, Bret Hart called in, Charmel, Booker T's wife, called in, John Morrison called in. A lot of people that knew Benoit personally called in, and that was kind of my introduction to, I guess you could say, wrestling radio. And, after the Benoit tragedy happened, I would continue to listen to them on a weekly basis, and every week Dave Meltzer would call in. But here's the thing about Meltzer, man. A lot of people, they give Meltzer credit. What kind of annoyed me about Meltzer was the host would ask Meltzer a question about breaking news, or like if there was something rumored, they would ask Meltzer, like, for instance, I remember this vividly, when Christian's contract in TNA was about to expire, and there were rumors going that he was going to go to the WWE. I'm not sure if you guys remember, I believe Jeff Hardy was feuding with Edge at the time, and some dirt sheets were reporting that Christian was going to come back to WWE, and I think it leaked or something like that. So instead, they had Matt Hardy turn on him instead or something like that. But during that time, they kept asking Dave Meltzer, like, is it true? Is Christian coming? And it's like a lot of times they ask Dave a question, and he just says, oh, I don't know. Like, he'll just say that. He'll just say, I don't know. And it's like, okay, so he doesn't know. And then if he says something was going to happen and then it didn't happen, then he would just say plans would change. Or if they asked him a question and he didn't know, he would say, I don't know. And then if it happened later, he would be like, well, I wasn't really sure. So it's like sometimes when you're a known journalist, or whatever word you want to use, sometimes you kind of get a pass for stuff like that. I know Tech and I have also talked about this privately. You guys remember the Royal Rumble 2013? That was the Rumble where a lot of these guys are rumored to return. MVP, Carlito, Shelton Benjamin. Many people were saying these guys were set to return, and none of them came back. So I can definitely understand when someone says, hey, this is going to happen, it doesn't happen, I get that. There's a lot of people in the wrestling industry that will make claims, and then the claims that they say will happen don't happen, and there's never an apology or whatever, So I can definitely see why some fans are sort of like, That being said, I would hope that the listeners of Under the Mat Radio should know that we have a pretty good track record for stuff like this. A lot of stuff that Angry Mark said has happened. And the thing about Angry Mark is, unlike a lot of these dirt sheet sites that will report something like the first week of July and then it will happen 2 weeks later, a lot of stuff that Angry Mark says, he'll say it and it'll happen months later. Like Angry Mark will say something in January, and then whatever it was he said will happen sometime in April. That should give you an idea of, the foresight that not just himself but the entire Under the Mat Radio thing has. So, I understand the fans' frustration. And like Gameboy said, Under the Mat, we ourselves are putting, we're putting our own brand at risk as well, because by making such a bold claim and it doesn't happen, it makes us look bad. So obviously for us to make a claim, we got to be pretty accurate and pretty positive it's going to happen, right?
And right.
Indeed it is.
Thank you, Toph, for that, man. Very passionate. Appreciate that.
Yeah, passionate Toph.
Yeah. PT.
Hey. PT. Now with that, of course, we done broke the news. Angry Mark broke the news last night. Razor's here talked about it. Just to have some fun, because we done already said what we had to say, and if you don't agree with it, then that's fine, so I can get over it. The travesty and the debacle and any other words you want to use that happened last night of Monday Night Raw. The horror and the lame 3 hours.
Hey, Tech, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is kind of important. All right, little important here. I'm really hungry sitting here doing the show, and I'm drinking, I got Jack and Coke and I got Budweiser, but I'm thinking, like, I got the munchies, and I haven't even done my bong hit yet today. So what do you recommend that I should eat right now here at home? Because I don't feel like going out and grabbing some fucking shit in a bag or anything, Sorry, listeners, I know you want to hear wrestling.
Favorite. Saltine's basement specials, the fried bologna sandwich, and some hot tea.
You should try that in-school suspension dinner. Try that peanut butter with a pear.
You know what? I think I'm going to do the saltine special. But I think I'm going to do the gourmet version. I think I'm going to do fried bologna sandwich.
Okay, fried bologna sandwiches. Saltine, any words on the saltine special? Yeah, this the fried bologna sandwich with the high C juice box. Is there anything else that you add to the saltine special?
Well, there's this should say, oh, shut the fuck up. As I was saying, no,
roofies.
The only problem is, guys, yeah, he did. The only problem is the saltine special is going to get you 5 to 10.
Thanks, saltine. The saltine special order. What do you say, Toast? The detention?
The peanut butter with a pear. Remember that in school, detention, whatever?
Yes, I remember that. Wick. It was two kinds of wick, guys. It was the wick that you got that was similar to food stamps that you would use for buying your kids, buying your newborn babies like formula. And then it was the wick in school, which was in-school detention. So you had the peanut butter sandwich with the pear. You had the jelly sandwich with the little old stale-ass Oreo cookie that wasn't really an Oreo cookie. It was them Nabisco cookies, them cheap cookies you get from the dollar store. The cream was all hard, wasn't even soft. Yes. Good on memory.
Well, you were about to talk about Raw. You mind if I just take over for a minute or two?
Yeah. Normally Angry Mark Gameboy stuff. Well, go ahead, so if you start off with Raw real quick, and then we'll bring it after your queen to give her thoughts, and then turn over to Gameboy.
No, I was gonna totally no sell Raw because it was